Let's do an example of elasticity sticking with our market demand curve for pizza where Q equals 1000 minus 100p. And let's remind ourselves of the formula for the elasticity. Epsilon p equals the percent change in quantity over the percent change in price. And using the midpoint formula, or arc elasticity, we can write this out as the new quantity minus the old quantity over the average of the new quantity and the old quantity. And the same thing in the denominator for price, the new price minus the old price all over the average of the old price and the new price. So let's get back to our market demand curve for pizza and start up here with a price of 9. Now we know from our demand equation that at a price of 9, individuals will demand 100 units. So our initial quantity is 100, and our initial price is 9. Now what happens when we move to a price of 8? We know from our demand curve that the quantity demanded is going to be 200. So our new quantity is 200 at a new price of 8. So let's put this into the equation. The new quantity of 200 minus the old quantity of 100 over the average of the two. 200 plus 100 over 2. All over the percent change in price. The new price of 8 minus the old price of 9 over the average price. 8 plus 9 over 2. Now this works out to negative 5.6, but remember, we're going to use absolute values and call this 5.6. This is very elastic demand. The price didn't go down by all that much as a percent, but the quantity demanded went up by a lot as a percent. Pretty elastic demand right up here. But what happens when we look at a price that's already pretty low? Let's take a look at going from $2 to $1. So with the old price of $2, we know from our market demand equation that people want 800 units. When we go to a new price of $1, we know that they're going to want 900 units. So again, we've got our old quantity of 800 at an old price of 2, and a new quantity of 900 at a new price of 1. Let's put these in the equation. New quantity of 900 minus the old quantity of 800 over the average, 900 plus 800 over 2. over the percent change in price, the new price of 1 minus the old price of 2, over the average, 1 plus 2 over 2. And this works out to about negative 0.18. Remember, we're taking absolute values, so that's about 0.18. This is very inelastic demand. The price changed by a lot as a percent, but the quantity demanded didn't change very much as a percent. This is a very important lesson. Even though this is a straight line demand curve, so its slope is the same everywhere, a slope of 100, the elasticity changes dramatically depending on where you are. So a single demand curve can be very elastic in some places and inelastic in others. This can be a bit confusing, but in the next video we'll go into more detail about understanding demand elasticity.